And Robin, you are bringing us a story that is so special to all of us here at ABC
It
News.
really is, George. It's hard to believe it was almost 20 years ago when our dear, dear friend and colleague Bob Woodruff, reporting from Iraq, was badly injured in a roadside bombing. His recovery has been nothing short of remarkable. And now in a new special, After the Blast, The Will to Survive, he returns to the spot where he almost lost his life. I sat down with Bob and his wife Lee to talk about it. Our dear colleague Bob Woodruff on a journey to handle what he calls unfinished business. Returning to the place where in a split second his life changed forever.
Hey, look at him. This is where the tourists would be.
17 years ago in Iraq, at the height of the war. You're in the anchor chair, World News Tonight. Take us back to why you were there to cover the war.
The hope was for the U.S. to be able to pull out. That was the story we're going there to tell. And there we were, going down the street, and it was 8 different tanks, vehicles, and we were in the very front, in the Iraqi one. We stood up out the top of the tank to do a stand-up. This IED exploded just to the left and completely shattered this part of my face, my jaw. I fell down into the tank. I was unconscious then for the next 36 days.
After Bob's long road to recovery from the traumatic brain injury, he's now coming face to face with his past for the first time.
I've been wanting to go back. We were pulled out so quickly. We're out there on a mission to tell the story and what's happening, and suddenly we were removed.
We got everything.
Bob's beloved wife, Lee, knows this trip back is the next step on his path to healing.
For a long time, I wished acceptance for you. It was you sitting down and looking through hours of tape of family footage to do this documentary. He would say, I used to have so many words. But I think that process was part of the acceptance. And I think something shifted in you, and I feel a lightness to you.
Nobody wants to get that call. And what was it like when you did? And I love how you described how your 4 little ones helped you.
Yeah, I could not have the reaction that I would have probably had if I weren't with them.
2 of their daughters, too young to remember the full details at the time.
Shin guards.
Yeah.
Whoa, good.
Seen here helping their dad through his language condition, aphasia.
I could not even remember the name of 2 of my 4 kids. I mean, I couldn't remember the name of any state in America, any presidents or leaders around the world.
Bob's son joining on the trip as a cameraman, capturing this powerful moment while heading to the exact spot where the bomb exploded. To see you with your son Mac, with Magnus, a longtime audio person that we all love, going back to the place and your emotions. That was sheer vulnerability that you shared with us.
My son Mac, who was 14 years old when I was hit, he can remember the before Bob and the after Bob. He can get this in some ways out of his soul. You know, that was an emotional moment for me to go with my son, where he's shooting the camera and there's suddenly I'm on that other side of the lens.
Abu Omar, thank you. Thank you very much.
His new mission is to shine a light on the lessons and legacy of the war's aftermath.
It took me forever, Robin, to finally say, I can't do exactly what I'd done before. And I said, the only good thing about being blown up like this is that we're able to have the ability to do something for the veterans.
The couple hosting their annual Stand Up for Heroes event with hopes of inspiring others through their family's tragedy, which led to triumph.
There comes a point where you do have to surrender and say, I am different now. This changed me. Yes, this is our family, but this is every family who's been injured.
It's been 17 years. And now look, we got Ukraine, we've got in the middle of Israel and Gaza, you know, so we've got wars that are not going to end. So we know that the veterans, those that are serving in the military, those who have served the country like that, we do not forget them. And that's why we continue to do what we do.
That's a power couple right there. And they shared so much about those tough times. Lee telling me that doctors told her it was important to talk to Bob while he was in the medically induced coma. So she would tell him their love story again and again and again. And when he woke up, he said, "Lee, sweetie, where you been?" Their bond is so infectious, and they have a great sense of humor about things as well. It was good to talk to them about the special. It's so important to them. The time that Lee really became emotional was in thinking about the other families. Not so much that they just want to be able to shine a light on others, not so much about themselves, but that this happened to them and they're going to use it for good to help others who
They
go
have
through
just
it.
been an absolute inspiration. And they're a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, they are a hoot. If you can hang with Bob and Lee, highly suggested. It's really meaningful, too, because this weekend, of course, Veterans Day is coming up, and you can see the entire special after the blast, The Will to Survive. They're thriving. You can see it Friday night, 8, 7 Central here on ABC, and streaming the next day on Hulu. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.